Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be ranking every single Cut the Rope game. So let's get started. 12, Om Nom Merge. Lame is what I like to call it. This game is absolutely stupid. This game is like one of those matching games where you match it with like different objects and all that. And the way it's done is absolutely stupid. I don't know why this game exists because it is just so not fun. And the fact that it's not even called Cut the Rope, it's just signs of awfulness. It's such a bad game. I don't recommend it to anyone. Don't play this one. 11, Om Nom Run. Now this was interesting because it's like one of those endless runners. It's kind of like a ripoff of some sort. It's interesting because it has the superheroes and all that. This would be fun if it weren't for the fact that this game is a bit interesting in that it's mission structured. If you want to continue, you can't really because there's like missions and all that, and then it stops abruptly, which is a shame because this is actually a fun game. Couple that with the fact that there's like a lot of ads in the game, and it's just not a perfect game in my opinion. Everything's just, it seems good, but like in the end, I don't know, the game's just alright as it is. It's not the greatest. 10, Cut the Rope Daily. What happened to Om Nom's voice? What happened? This game is as you expect. I've already talked about this before in a different game called Daily Dadish. Cut the Rope Daily is just, I don't know, not as immersive as like Daily Dadish, for example, because first of all, the art style looks not bad, but the game is just not the greatest in my opinion. It has a lot of problems going through it. Like, one level a day, like, sounds good. Like Daily Dadish at least made it interesting. I'm mentioning that again. But, like, something like this, Cut the Rope Daily, is not fun. I would definitely not recommend it to anyone because it's not a great game at all. 9, Cut the Rope, the one that started it all. This game is the classic game. You feed the candy to Om Nom, and that's the gist, with hard levels in between. Such an addicting game. Now, the only reason why I put it in this spot is because there are better games than this. Like, as expected, this game hasn't aged well, like, nowadays in the modern era, but back then it was such a fun game, which is why it's only here because the modern era has ruined the game and all that. But for what it was back in the day, it was so fun. It's an incredible experience. But due to the ads and all that, it was not become a fun experience anymore, which is a shame because this is such a good game, honestly. But there's better ones than this one. Sorry. 8, Cut the Rope 3. This is an App Arcade exclusive. Instead of feeding candies, you're basically trying to save Nibble Nom. I like the concept of this. It's very different. For what it is, the game's alright. I think the only reason why I put it at this spot, though, is because I don't know, it's not as immersive as, like, you know, feeding a candy and all that. That's really the only gist, I have to say. It's not the greatest, but it's still worth mentioning. 7, My Om Nom. This is a pet feeding game. This is so cool. This has become such a nostalgic game for so many people because it's lovely to just go over, like, feeding Om Nom and all that. It's so nostalgic for some people. I'm glad to hear that. Now, the only reason why it's on this spot is because this game is actually discontinued, which is a shame, really, because the game actually looked so fun. Plus, you had to, like, pay for it in order to, like, play this epic game. And it was very different than, like, the usual Cut the Rope games at that time. It was just so fun to, like, you know, feed, like, Om Nom and all that. Again, it's such a disappointment that this game doesn't exist anymore, because, honestly, it's so fun. And it's such a lovely experience, and it's wonderful. I guess the only, like, bad thing I have to say is that you have to pay stuff in order to get things. But that's really a small thing. Otherwise, this game is so incredible to play.
Let's make an experiment.
6, Cut the Rope Experiments. I just love the intro. Let's make an experiment. That is so good. Now, I've been waiting for years to play this, so it's so fun to finally play it for a video, and the results were actually pretty decent. I mean, yeah, there's ads here and there, but otherwise, it's such a great expansion to the original game because the original was good. So it's so nice to, like, you know, see added things. It's not as well known as the original. I think it's because it's just not as talked about as the other games I'm going to talk about later in this ranking. But Otherwise, it's such a good game. It's so wonderful to like just hear like how well done the levels are. It's so creative and absolutely enjoy it for that reason. 5. Cut the Rope Remastered. I know some people will put this like lower on the list. The only reason why I put it higher is because this game is just so cool because it like remasters things. Like it starts off like at the beginning, like the actual beginning of where Cut the Rope began, and then goes through different types of worlds, and it's wonderful. It's such a great game. I feel like it's nice to see Om Nom, Om Nelly, Nibble Nom all in the same game, and it's such a wonderful time. It's the simple classic game, but updated with the visuals and all that. It's so good, and plus this is an Apple Arcade exclusive. That's how amazing this one is. It's so good, and I recommend it to play it. 4. Cut the Rope Time Travel. Man, I love this game so much. Instead of feeding one Om Nom, you feed another one from another time period. And the puzzles are just so clever. It's such a fun game. Obviously, this would be the basis for the TV show, obviously. But the game itself is just so good. I love its art style. Like, it's the same art style, I know, but like, it's still a fun game at the end of the day. It's so fun to just kind of, feed the candies to the other types of Om Noms. The puzzles are clever. Everything's in this game just screams amazing. Again, this was the basis for the TV show, but even then, this is such a fun game. Both the TV show of this season, you know what I mean, and the game, both are amazing, especially since this game is also really fun as well. Great time. 3. Cut the Rope Triple Treat. This is basically a compilation of the original game, experiments, and time travel. Fun game, actually. It's nice to see this on the 3DS. It looks amazing and wonderful to play with the stylus and all that. That is the reason why I put this higher than the others, because it's such a fun experience. Like, having 3 all on the 3DS is a game changer. I know it might not look the greatest on the 3DS, but don't get me wrong, it's so fun. It's also nice to see a 3D Om Nom as well to make it cool. And yeah, otherwise, it's such a fun game. Love it so much. 2. Cut the Rope Magic. Now, by the way, I love its art style. That's a good sign. And also, this game is just so fun. You get to transform into many things. One of them is a chicken. Best game out of all of that. I'm just kidding. There's one more after this one. But besides that, this game is really good. It's wonderful to play through each level with like different transformations. It's such a fun time. I absolutely enjoy it so much, and it deserves recognition for being so fun. I don't know if many people are talking about this game, because a shame really, because this game is actually really good. 1. Cut the Rope 2, Om Nom's Quest. This is such a childhood game for me. It's so fun, man. I love its art style, again. The reason why I put this one number 1 is because this game, it just looks amazing. I love its level design. I love just everything that it has to offer. And it looks amazing. So well done. So well detailed. It's great. Such a fun experience. Again, this is based on like the TV show specifically, but it's still fun. I don't really care much about the ads because at the end of the day, it's such a good time. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Goodbye!